Hi, this is Nina with Walla Stamping. Thanks for joining me today. This is the project that I'm going to be sharing with you, and I will be doing one of these projects every Tuesday between now and the week of Christmas, and I'm calling these Gift Tag Tuesdays. And of course, as you can tell, this is a Christmas tag because there's a snowflake and there's a to and from on the back. And I will be doing a lot of Christmas gift tags between now and that week, but I'll also throw in some that would be used for a birthday or some other type of event as well. But for this one that we're doing today, I'm using our Night of Navy cardstock, and I'm also using a couple of pieces. Oh, and by the way, you'll need to cut out a piece that's 3.5 by 3.5 in order to cut out this circle. Then you'll need 2 pieces of Very Vanilla, and these are cut at approximately 3 by 3, and then a piece of glimmer paper that's also cut to 3 by 3, and this is our Dazzling Diamonds. Now what I've used to cut this piece out is our Stitched Shapes Framelit dies, and on the Night of Navy I used the very largest one. What I really love about these is the fact that it cuts around the edges, but it gives a stitched effect to the inside, about probably not quite, or maybe around 1/8 of an inch in. It looks like stitches, so that is really a cute look. Then this part of the gift tag, the Very Vanilla, I used the next size down to cut those 2 out. Then for the Dazzling Diamonds, I used the 2.5 inch scallop circle from our Layering Circles framelit. And I've also used, to stamp the 2 in the front on the back, I'm using our Night of Navy stamp pad, and I've got the 2 in the front mounted on there. And I will show you how I do that to make sure that it's going to end up on the paper where I want it to be. And then on the front, I'm using some Versamark ink along with Stampin' Up embossing powder in gold. And you're going to want your embossing buddy to help with that, and I have that snowflake mounted there. Now the 2 in the front and the snowflake comes from this set, which is the 10 of Tags stamp set, and I am absolutely a nut about pretty fonts, and I really like all of these here. They can just be used for so many different things, like surprise. Even though this has got a snowflake and it kind of lends toward Christmas, special delivery could be used for a baby gift. Surprise could be used for a birthday gift. And then of course you've got Go Ahead, Tear It Open. That could be used for any event at all. This is for you likewise. Of course, Warm Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses, that definitely says Christmas, and Spread Some Christmas Cheer does too. But this stamp set can be used for other things besides just Christmas. So I just wanted to point that out to you. And I think those are all of the items that I need. Oh, no, one more thing. I'm using the Baker's Twine Trio pack, and I'm going to be using the gold, and I'm also going to be using Stamping Dimensionals as well as some Rhinestones. So let me set these things aside. Now first of all, I think I will do the gold embossing powder. I'm going to rub my embossing buddy over the top of this piece of paper, open my Versamark, and as you can tell, I had a stamp that had ink on it. I didn't realize it, and I stamped it into my Versamark. It's okay, it's not gonna hurt anything. There's very little red ink on there. So I'm gonna get this stamped up really good with that Versamark and stamp it right down here in the middle. Give it a good press. Then I will grab a piece of scrap notebook paper, lay that there, put my gold embossing powder on top, make sure all of that stamped area gets covered, tap off any extra, and I had a little spillage there. I'm going to let you see the embossing process, but I'm going to turn the sound off because I don't want you to have to listen to my heat gun. And if you can hear a racket going on in the background, it's my sugar baby dog, and she is flinging her toys around everywhere. So let's get this embossed. Isn't that pretty? Love, love, love it. We will cut it out next. But before we do that cutting, let me grab this second piece, and I'm going to show you how I make sure that I have my to and from lined up where I want it to be. Actually, let's go ahead and cut this one out and the other one. Let me grab my Big Shot. Put it in here. Okay. So I'm going to grab my stitched shaped framelits, and remember I was using the second size circle from the largest. Put that in my Big Shot on top of the plate, and what I do is I don't have my magnetic plate yet. It should be getting here tomorrow, but until that time I'm just going to use a little piece of old washi tape that I had. So let me grab that and get this stuck in place, and we'll run it through. Okay, so I'm going to get that centered up just visually the best that I can. I'm going to put a little piece of washi tape right there, and actually I kind of like to use 2 pieces just to make sure that it doesn't go sliding around on the opposite end. So I've got that there. It's face down on my mat, and I'm going to run that through. And there you go, it's cut out. So there's our base there, and the scalloped one, and that's the glimmer paper, and then the Night of Navy, you cut out the same way. So let me show you how to get this stamped to make sure that you have your to and from where you want it. So I just take my stamps out of their case, and I'm gonna lay, let me make sure it's in frame so you can see it. I'm gonna lay my to where I want it to sit and my from where I want it to sit. Then I'm just going to make sure it's straight though, it doesn't look like it's quite straight. Lay my block down on top of it and pick those up. Then I'm going to be using the Night of Navy stamping pad for this. Get that inked up. Then just stamp it down. There you go. So let's go ahead and get this attached to the back of your Night of Navy. I'm just going to put some, well, my snail looks like it's trying to run out. There it is. I'm going to put a couple strips of snail on the back of that and put it on the back. And as you can see, every time I stamp, I get ink on my fingers. I do not know why I do that. Now on the front, we're going to stick the Dazzling Diamonds straight down to our Night of Navy. I'm just using snail for this. And get that centered, put it in place. Then this piece, I want to put some rhinestones on. I'm just going to use my piercing tool and pick up some of these little rhinestones and put one on the tip of each of these little legs of the snowflake. So go all the way around this snowflake, putting your rhinestones on. Okay, so I've got all of those put in place, and I also put a little bit larger one in the center. I used the smaller ones all the way around the outside edges, and then I used, well, this is like extra large, large, medium, and small. So I used small ones around the edge, and then I used a medium one in the center. So I want to put that on top of the glimmer paper using the dimensionals. So let me go ahead and get 3 of these put on the back of here. But before I attach it, I do want to take my 1/8 inch punch and put a hole through here. Oh, let me make sure that I've got it at the top. So I'm going to do it this way so I can make sure that I'm going to be hanging this correctly. Then I'm going to take the gold out of my trio pack and fold it in half like this, because this silver or gold baker's twine does have a tendency to fray, and it makes it difficult to get through a small hole like this, so I'm going to fold it in half just like that. It'll make it easier to poke through that little small hole. All right. I'm just going to snip that off there. And what I'm going to do is, and see how I've done it, I've put that loop through from the back into the front. So now at this point, I'm going to open up that loop, grab a hold of those 2 loose strands from the back, and then just pull it through just like that. Then I will tie a single knot in this end and cut off the excess. And you can make these longer or shorter, just depending on what your preference is. Sometimes I like to make them a little longer because even though they're a gift tag, whoever you're giving it to might want to hang it on their Christmas tree. So if your baker's twine is a little bit longer, it will give them more room to hang that on the limb of their Christmas tree. So let's get the backing off of our dimensionals and get this put into place. Now, you can put it on however you like. If you want it to go this way, you can, but my preference is to have the 2 little legs of this snowflake in line with my baker's twine. Get that centered up on top of your glimmer paper and just press it down. So this is the first of my Gift Tag Tuesday. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and please come back and join me every Tuesday between now and the week of Christmas for more gift tag ideas. If you would like to leave a comment or have a question, please do that below the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will also be leaving a link to my website below the video as well. Y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.